Hey, what is up, Frag fam? Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. So today we're going to be doing my fourth installment of 5 recently discontinued fragrances you should purchase now. So this was a mini series, I guess you could say, and I did a lot of these towards the first few months of my channel, so kind of towards the beginning, and I just haven't made one recently. You know, there haven't been many like big discontinuation announcements until recently, and we actually have a few surprising ones that are going to be here in this video. So if you guys want to find out all about these fragrances that have been recently discontinued, then please stick around. But first, let's roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back from the intro, and like I already said, this is 5 recently discontinued fragrances that you should consider purchasing now. So let's not hold off any longer. Let's hop into the video with the first fragrance. Alright, so starting the video off, we're going to be starting with a niche fragrance. Now, we're going to be talking about this one first because I do not own it, nor have I actually ever tried this one. In general, I want to talk to you guys about fragrances that I am familiar with, of course, but this is one that I unfortunately have not been able to try, but I'm definitely hoping to change that going forward, which this is Kilian's Pearl Oud. So like I said, you know, I've never really smelled this one. It is actually a fragrance that I've been interested in for a while, and I am trying to get more Kilian fragrances in my collection. So this is one that I might try and get here soon, again, just because it's been discontinued recently, and that's a big incentive to pick it up. But again, this thing actually sounds really nice. So of course, Pearl Oud, you would think there's some oud in here, which there is. There's also some rose, and then a leather note as well, and even a little bit of saffron. So it's kind of like a spicy rose oud fragrance, again with like a leather touch. That's all I really know about it. Again, haven't tried it, but from the reviews that I've seen, this is a really popular one, and the reason it actually got discontinued is Kilian actually likes to keep 35 fragrances within their portfolio at any given time. So as they have new stuff like come out, get released or whatever, they have to get rid of some older stuff, and that's just kind of how it goes. It seems to work out for them having a medium-sized catalog of fragrances, but it still is sad that we lose some gems like this one. So again, here at the number 5 spot, the first fragrance that we're going to be talking about that has been recently discontinued, that was Kilian's Pearl Oud. Alright, so going forward now, I own the rest of the fragrances that we're going to be talking about, and speaking of the next one, we have actually another niche fragrance. Now this one, I think got discontinued a few months ago. I do not remember the exact date, but I do remember seeing an announcement within 2021, and I think it was somewhat recently. So this one is coming from the house of Raja Parfums, and this is Fetish Perfume pour Homme. Man, this stuff is really just bold and in your face, an extremely aggressive fragrance. I talked about this in my top 10 most masculine fragrances video, which I'm not really sure if that one will be released before or after this video. I'm filming a lot of stuff right now, so I'm not really sure where that video is going to fall. But as far as this one goes, I'm still talking about it, like I brought it up in that list still, because it is available on the Raja Parfums website. You can still buy this one, and usually actually what Raja Parfums does when they discontinue a fragrance, not for all of them, but just for some of them, is they actually move it into a separate collection called the Heritage Collection, which is just kind of repackaged. They all have a like basic plaque that isn't very unique to the fragrance, but to my knowledge, you know, the fragrance is still the same when it gets transitioned over there, and I believe that's the way this one is actually going to be going. So it's not going to completely get axed, but in a way it's kind of getting discontinued just because you're not going to be able to find these original bottles like this one. Regardless of that, you know, like I said, this stuff is extremely bold and in your face. It's a very smoky, leather, animalic, woody fragrance. So you get this insane smoke note, which I don't really know where it's coming from. There's nothing in the note breakdown that would point you towards that. There's not like a frankincense note. There's no cade oil that they're claiming is in this fragrance, but it's like right there in the front. It's almost like cigar smoke, like very just brash in your face, almost like warm, you know, it just smells like burning leaves, but at the same time you're getting this like creamy animalic touch from this castoreum, and there's actually a little bit of this kind of rustic leather as well. And there are some more, like I would say, like brighter notes kind of offsetting these darker, heavier ones. You get some citruses in here, you know, you get some light florals. There's a little bit of benzoin in here, you know, kind of sweetening things up a little bit. But in my opinion, the smoky notes, the leather, and those animalic notes, and kind of that piney woodiness is really in the forefront. Makes this thing extremely aggressive, very confident overall. You have to be confident wearing this fragrance. It's not something that you can wear kind of timidly, otherwise this fragrance will absolutely wear you. But it is an insane one. There's nothing else out there that smells like this. I really like it because of that. And again, it's been recently discontinued, so if you want to pick it up in the original bottle style, I definitely recommend going for it now. So again, here at the number 4 spot, the next fragrance that has been sadly discontinued recently, that was Raja Parfums Fetish Perfume pour Homme. All right, so moving on to the next fragrance now, we're gonna be getting into some designers for the rest of this video. Now this is a huge surprise to me. I just recently learned about this one getting axed, and I could hardly believe it until I actually saw the email that was sent out from this brand, which we are talking about, Giorgio Armani. And this is probably their most popular fragrance. So like I said, this is coming from Giorgio Armani, and this is Acqua di Gio Profumo, which I know it's insane to think that they would get rid of this one because I believe this is their best seller currently. Maybe it's still the original, but to my knowledge, it's this one. This is the one that you see get all the talk. An absolutely amazing fragrance, taking that original sweet, fresh aquatic DNA and just making it a little bit more mature and a little bit less sweet. You know, they've toned down that sweetness just a little bit. They've amplified this kind of dark side coming from some patchouli and then incense, but you still do get a lot of that original shining through. You know, it still is very aquatic. You know, it does have that sweetness. Like I said, it's just been toned down a little bit. I can't believe they got rid of this one, but they did. Unfortunately, I saw the email myself. So I would definitely recommend, if you guys are interested in this one and you don't actually have it yet, check it out. Or if you really like this stuff, get a backup bottle or something. You know, this one, it will be gone here soon. I can imagine that the prices will definitely go up with this because of how popular it actually is. So again, the next fragrance that has been sadly discontinued from the house of Armani, that was Acqua di Gio Profumo. All right, so moving on to the next sadly discontinued fragrance. Again, we have another designer one here. The rest of the fragrances are gonna be designers. Now, this is one that I've actually talked about in a video recently, and I only recently, like super recently, learned that this one was discontinued. This is an amazing alternative to another very popular fragrance. And I actually think it's a better version, not just an alternative of that fragrance. This thing, I think it's very underrated, which is probably a major reason on why it's actually been discontinued. You know, this thing really doesn't sell that well. So this one is coming from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is Le Male Essence de Parfum, which I actually learned about this one possibly being discontinued from one of you guys, and then I looked more into it, and it actually seems that it's true. This is not on the website anymore at all, and apparently it hasn't been on the Jean Paul Gaultier website for a long time, while the rest of the flankers are still there. So you can basically assume at this point that it has been discontinued. However, you can still buy this on discounters for a really good price. So if you are interested in this one, I would definitely recommend checking it out sooner rather than later. As far as what it's all about and the fragrance that I usually compare it to, that is CH Men Privé. So if you're familiar with that one, they are very similar fragrances, but like I said, I find this to be a superior version of that fragrance, and I always recommend this one over that. So this is very similar to that one, aside from the whiskey note that you see in CH Men Privé. That is missing here, but you still get a lot of the other same notes like cardamom, vanilla, the leather as well. You get all of that in here, and there's even a little bit of lavender in this one, which ties this into the original Le Male flanker, makes it nice and aromatic, but it is still a little bit sweet and spicy, just like the original. But what really separates this one is that leather. It makes it just darker, a little bit more bad boy, and just a little bit more brooding, but still a very approachable fragrance at the same time. So again, if you're a fan of CH Men Privé, but maybe you're just looking for something that has a little bit of a different kind of twist on the DNA, this is a great one. Again, I prefer this to it for multiple reasons. So again, here at the number 2 spot, that was coming from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier, and that was Le Male Essence de Parfum. All right, so we are finally on to the last fragrance now, and this one, at least for me, is just as surprising as Acqua di Gio Profumo getting discontinued. I think this is just as popular as that fragrance. This is seemingly in everybody's collections. This just gets a lot of talk in the community. This seems to make it on every YouTuber's top 10 best winter designer fragrances, or just top 10 winter fragrances in general lists. Has a huge following. So this one is coming from the house of Thierry Mugler, and this is Pure Havana, which I know, like, this is insane. Now, how I found out about this one being discontinued is, like I said, there's been rumblings for a while, but there hasn't really been anything confirmed. I went to the website and they have not had it in stock for months. I've checked it multiple times. It has not shown back up. I know sometimes Mugler is kind of known for removing stuff from the website, and then when they produce more, they kind of restock the website and then they put it back up as a listing. But this one's been gone for months and months. Additionally, not too long ago, I actually did call Mugler and ask them about it, and they kind of gave me a very vague answer, which was kind of suspicious to me. They basically said they could not confirm nor deny it being gone. So I kind of found that weird. So while there's technically not an explicit like email that was pushed out saying Pure Havana has been discontinued, I think it's pretty safe to say that it has been at this point. Additionally, if you check any kind of discounters, they're all basically out of stock, or if they are in stock, it's retailing for like $120, which is even more than it comes from like the actual Mugler website. So if you guys are interested in it, I would definitely recommend getting a bottle or at least sampling it, because this stuff is that good. We haven't even talked about the fragrance itself yet. that's crazy. So this one focuses around tobacco, honey, and then some spices, and I think there's even a little bit of a citrus quality to this one as well. It's just a really awesome tobacco fragrance. I would say one of the best sweet cherried honey tobacco fragrances out there. It's super sexy. It's got a little bit of this maturity to it because of the tobacco, but it's very playful at the same time because of that sweetness. And like I said, it's kind of spicy. It's got this nice patchouli underneath, just like all of the flankers in this line do. And in general, it's just a really awesome fragrance. I mean, like at one point you could buy these for like $40 a bottle, brand new from discounters. And like I said, they're going for like $120 now or something crazy like that. But if you can find a bottle of Discontinued, I definitely recommend you jump on this one again sooner rather than later, because I could see this one getting well over $200 just based on how popular it is. So that was the last fragrance here for this video. Again, sadly discontinued all of these, but you know, it's just how it goes with fragrances sometimes. And again, what this one was called was Thierry Mugler's Pure Havana. Well, there you guys go. That was 5 recently discontinued fragrances that you should consider purchasing now. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below which ones you're the most surprised to hear about. I would be really curious. Like I said, Acqua di Gio Profumo and then Thierry Mugler's Pure Havana, those were the ones that really caught me off guard. Did not expect that because of their popularity, but you know, that's just how it goes again with fragrances sometimes. Overall, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write a comment, maybe just let me know your thoughts as well as some new video ideas or topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you've not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.